things I know are true. LeBron James is unprecedented, but I'd take Yao Ming to start my franchise. Manny Ramirez is great, but my franchise needs A-Rod on the hot corner, and we can afford him. If Knicks GM Scott Layden came to my door looking for candy, I'd give him liver and onions. And I'm Max Kellerman. $20 million for Allen Houston? Some trick, Scotty.
It's Around the Horn, the show of competitive banter. Here's Max Kellerman.
Welcome back to the ATH Halloween special, the one day a year I don't dress up. We're talking Kobe's return to the Lakers, Marshall Faulk's return to the Rams, and Miami's return to Blacksburg against Virginia Tech, all with our national panel. And here they are at the Los Angeles Times. It's Bill Plaschke.
I'm going to set you guys straight.
Dressed as hungover Phil Donahue. Somehow he feels it's Woody Page. At the Denver Post, it's Woody Page. Woody, what is
Boo.
that?
I'm Huggy Bear.
At the Chicago Sun-Times, it's Jay Mariotti, the guy from Chicago, dressing as Steve Bartman. That's very clever. And at the Boston Globe, it's Michael Holley. Who are you supposed to be, Michael?
This program needs an activist and a fullback. Jim Brown, baby.
In junior high school, maybe. We're the show that scores the argument, and here's how I do it with these joysticks and mute buttons. I give these guys points based on point of view, style, and information. Good answers get 2, great ones 3, and I use the mute button to penalize and direct traffic. We eliminate guys, so a one-on-one showdown determines the winner. Let's make it happen.
It's the first word.
The first words are the future of the NBA. LeBron James almost had a triple-double, ending with 21 points, 12 boards, and 8 assists, but did have 7 turnovers in another Cleveland loss. Yao Ming had 19 points in 20 minutes as Jeff Van Gundy's Rockets punished the Denver Nuggets. Guys, if you were building a franchise right now, would you start with LeBron or Yao? Around the horn of Jay Mariotti.
Well, attaboy, finally you're asking me a question about the long term, not the short term, and that's going to be LeBron James. I know I've been critical of LeBron in the short term here, but come on now. The salesmanship of LeBron James, the way he's going to revive not only that franchise, but that city. I mean, Yao Ming, Max, is going to be a dominant center for years to come in this league. You're not going to find many dominant centers in this league for years to come. But if I'm starting a team right now, I need the smile, the charisma, the showmanship, and the leadership of LeBron.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Why would Yao not be a leader, Jay?
Yao Ming is not a leader, but he's almost robotic in the way he goes about basketball. The leader of that franchise is going to be Stevie Francis. That's why they call him Stevie Francis.
Plaschke.
I can't believe you, jabroni. I'm going to set you straight right now.
I can't understand. You've been in a town like Chicago where you need centers so badly. Centers are things that don't come around every day. You talk about him not being a leader. Yesterday, Steve Francis talked about how impressed he was that Yao Ming got bigger and stronger and better over this summer. Yao Ming will be a leader. And finally, this guy sells not only tickets in your building, he's a marketing guru throughout the whole world. You wouldn't want to start a franchise with him. You can pay for another power forward on his T-shirts alone.
Okay, Huggy Bear?
That was a great question you came up with, Max. I just want to say, having anticipated it, I watched both players last night. And I've got to tell you that since 1969, when the NBA started awarding an MVP trophy for the NBA Finals, 16 centers have won it and 13 guards. But if you look over the years at Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, it's always been a guard who has been most responsible for teams winning championship.
You're right.
I take LeBron James.
Woody, you're right. And Plaschke, this is why Mariotti can make that point being in Chicago, because he saw this come to pass in Chicago. If you're dominant enough, as Michael Jeffrey Jordan was, you don't need a great center. This guy won with Bill Cartwright. He won with Luke Longley and Bill Winnington. So you can do that, and he is dominant enough. And what we've seen already, he's shown flashes of greatness. Yao Ming's going to be a very good player, but he's been good so far. And the only people who've come into the league doing what LeBron has done already, Magic, Michael, Larry,
and they weren't 18 years old, by the way.
He's in that category.
That's a freak. Mr. Michael Holley, that's a freak of nature what happened with Michael Jordan there and Phil Jackson. You got to have a big man to win now, and Shaq has set the bar. Look at the Western Conference. You need a big man to compete. Look how the East can't compete with the West because they have big men.
You're right. In general, you're right.
Supposed to be, Plaschke?
Kareem, Hakeem, Shaq, that's in general true. However, Parrish wasn't the reason the Celtics won. And was Kareem more responsible than Magic was for the Lakers' success? And Michael Jordan? Everyone always likes to talk about the center, and it's very necessary. But in the new game, the guards have come to dominate, or the smaller guys.
Wrong.
Look, Plaschke, in the end, I agree with you. I'll take you.
Nobody likes Goliath.
Why does anybody like Goliath? Because it's easier to root for David. Come on, what kind of question is that? Next topic. 1 p.m. Eastern time came and went, and nobody bit on Boston's Manny Ramirez waiver bait. The Red Sox effort to unload Ramirez has led to rumors that the Sox would like to acquire Alex Rodriguez and his $25 million a year contract. A note in the Fort Worth Star-Telegram cites sources that say Boston and Texas have discussed a deal involving A-Rod and Nomar Garciaparra. Guys, should any team trade for A-Rod, given his enormous contract? Around the horn of Michael Holley.
You know what, Max, normally I would say no, because you can take that $25 million, you can get 2 or 3 good players, or in the case of, if you're a very smart GM, you can get 3 or 4 good players. But in the case of Alex Rodriguez, he is worth the money. The only guy in baseball who's worth it. He's 28 years old. He's young enough. He's going to give you production. He gave you great numbers with a 4th-place team in Texas. He didn't have anyone around him defensively, offensively. If he comes to Boston, he averaged 30 doubles a year over the past 3 seasons. If he comes to Boston with the wall, he'll average 50 doubles.
Well, except that Arlington's a better hitter's park than Fenway. Go ahead.
When I covered Ty Cobb in his rookie season, I learned something. It's about winning. The Rangers' win total has decreased every year since A-Rod's been there. The Ranger attendance has decreased every year since A-Rod's been there. You're paying $25 million for a guy, for this much for a guy. You better get more to it than just a few hits and a few runs. You better get wins, and you better get butts in the seats. He does neither in Texas.
Okay.
A serious subject requires serious debate and examination, and I have done that all this morning. And I've got to tell you, A-Rod should come to Colorado. Not only would he hit 60 or 70 home runs here, but he would bring a franchise that is on the brink of dying after being one of the most prominent in baseball back to the forefront. And I think this is what's important about baseball, is we got to spread the talent around.
You know what? We all take A-Rod for granted. Over the next 7 years, he's owed $189 million. This guy's going to be in his prime all 7 years and remain the greatest all-around player in the game. You know what? Bring him to Chicago so that sad sack shortstop that gets trash thrown out of me can get run out of town. We'll have A-Rod there. You know, get rid of
he's not going to be in his prime for 7 more years. It's unlikely. He'll be 35 by that point. Plaschke?
Mariotti, you wouldn't take Manny Ramirez, but now you'll take this guy? I don't understand. This guy's got more years, more money. What are you talking about?
Manny Ramirez is a one-dimensional player. Trade Kerry Wood, who ruined my life. Trade Kerry Wood for A-Rod.
You don't have to say that you wouldn't take Manny, so then you wouldn't take A-Rod. A-Rod is an above-average defensive player, a shortstop, younger, better in the clubhouse and all those things, almost as good a hitter. By the way, how many good players can you get for $25 million? What did Boston do this last offseason for under $12 million? David Ortiz, Todd Walker, Bill Miller, Kevin Millar. You get a whole team for $25 million. Only the Yankees, hence the costume, can afford A-Rod and that salary. Buy or sell tonight.
Coming up, the Rams are on a roll. Is it a good time to push Marshall Faulk back into action? Plus, Kobe makes his season debut Saturday night. Is he still a bigger name than LeBron? The Horn!
Around the Horn, brought to you by Viagra. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you.
Buy or sell?
Buy or sell time, let's keep it moving. First topic. Kobe Bryant comes back Saturday night when the Lakers take on Phoenix. Kobe was healthy enough for preseason action, but sat out LA's opener against Dallas. Buy or sell Kobe as a bigger national name than LeBron James. Right now, Plaschke.
What's happened to Kobe's been humilifying. I think LeBron James is definitely, I'm selling Kobe as a bigger national name because LeBron is the newest, the freshest, the latest.
Come on, Woody, let's keep it moving. What? Woody Page.
I'm buying because Kobe has transcended the sports pages. He's on the front page, so people who don't know anything about sports know all about Kobe, and that's what the question was, Plaschke, or whoever you are.
Plaschke's dressed up as Woody, and then Woody answers with the sense of a Bill Plaschke. What's going on? Jay Marriott.
Of course you have to buy that. You know, in about 4 months when Kobe is on trial, LeBron will have lost 50 games. Kobe Bryant does transcend sports, and he is still going to be a much bigger name than LeBron until the trial is over. Mike?
Thank you.
These guys are absolutely right. You got to buy it for the reasons given about the trial, but also for the right reasons. How about 3 NBA championships for Kobe, and LeBron hasn't won anything yet?
That's right. He's got 3 chips. 3. That's the same number Larry Bird has, by the way. 3. And Kobe's what, 25? Next topic. Number 2 Miami puts its perfect record on the line Saturday night in Blacksburg against number 11 Virginia Tech. The Hurricanes are coming off a bye week, while the Hokies are still reeling from their 28-7 loss at West Virginia. Miami has won 27 7 straight conference games and have won 39 consecutive regular season games, and people still sleep. I don't know why. Buy or sell Virginia Tech upsetting Miami on Saturday? Woody?
I sell that. Keller Winslow didn't start out the year like a Heisey Trophy candidate, but he has played extremely well lately. And Miami Hurricanes, unlike previous years, really have become a great third down team, and that's going to make a difference in
What
Blacksburg.
happened to the other hat, Woody?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jay.
You know, I got to sell this. Larry Coker's record at Miami in big games regular season, 11-0. Frank Beamer, Virginia Tech, number 8 and up, 0-19.
That's it?
That's it.
You're supposed to say Kellerman or something like Mike.
Kellerman.
No, I'm going to sell this as much as I would like Miami to lose, so my Ohio State Buckeyes can win. But Miami dominates this conference, and this year they're winning in different ways. They're winning on defensively, and they're winning on punt returns. They'll do that again on Saturday.
Flash.
I'm definitely going to sell this because I was at Moses' 10 Commandment press conference, and what he said was you got to win the big games, and Virginia Tech under Beamer's never won a big game. Now, if they had Brian Greasy, they would still lose even bigger.
All right. So down on Greasy. Next topic. Marshall Faulk is listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the 49ers, but if you own the Rams running back on your fantasy team, Philadelphia Daily News writer Ed Barkowitz isn't so sure you should start him. Barkowitz says, throw it all in a blender, add in that this week's opponent is 5th against the run, and Faulk owners should sit him. Buy or sell sitting Marshall Faulk on your fantasy team, Marriott.
I'm selling Kellerman because if you watched the Rams last week, Arlen Harris, whoever he is, scored 3 touchdowns. The Rams offense is purring with Bulger and Holt and everybody there. You know, I could start on that fantasy team.
Purring. Okay, it's purring. Go ahead, Michael.
I'm going to sell this. You and me, Barkowitz, one-on-one. I want you in a fantasy matchup. No, look, Marshall Faulk can explode anytime. Torrey Holt is playing his best football this season. Mark Bulger is going. And, you know, why would you sit Marshall Faulk? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Bill?
Can't believe you two Billy Joels. Marshall Faulk, you got to sit him. Buy it. You got to sit him. He only took half the reps in Wednesday's practice, number one. And number two, his coach, March, has said he made a mistake last year putting him in too soon after the injury. He's going to ease him back in. He's not going to play the whole game.
Okay. Woody?
That's a good look, Plasky, for you. You should keep that up. I'm buying also. I think that you wait another week. You don't want to rush in. As a guy who really knows fantasy football and is dominating our own fantasy league, I think that it's important that you wait until he's totally healthy and he's comfortable with the system.
Wait, are you still in last place, Woody, in the fantasy league? In the Around the Horn fantasy league?
I don't pay any attention.
Yes, you are.
He is.
Yeah.
Next topic. The preseason college basketball poll is out, which, by the way, is totally meaningless thanks to the tournament. BCS. Ha, my point. Anyway, UConn Huskies with Bob Ryan's favorite college player, Mika Okafor, as well as Ben Gordon, and high-profile frosh Charlie Villanueva topped the chart. Buy or sell the UConn Huskies as the #1 team in men's basketball, Michael Holley.
I'm going to buy them. And Bob Ryan, who is sitting very close to me right now, is absolutely right. Okafor is the best player in the country. But you know what? UConn also has one of the best coaches in the country in Jim Calhoun.
Yeah,
the last decade, it's been Kansas, Kentucky, Duke, and UConn in winning percentage.
Bill?
That's the most seriously bad argument I've ever heard. I'm selling this. Duke has a Sweet 16 team back with Chris Duhon, with Daniel Ewing, with Patrick Ewing, with Christian Leitner.
Patrick
Wait,
Ewing.
who'd you ask?
He does a good Woody. You have to give it to him, Woody.
I'm selling also. I love Jim Calhoun, and I'd love to see him win a national championship. But Duke does have the entire core of its team back last year, and I think the Blue Devils are ready to win another
Woody, I have a
NCAA
question.
championship.
Did you miss Calhoun's first national championship?
I guess I did. That was a little bit before my time.
Jay?
You know, I'm selling for one reason. Mike Krzyzewski is due. He hasn't won in a while. It's his year with Chris Duhon, not Patrick Ewing, Daniel Ewing.
Okay.
So,
All right. None of you guys know anything about anything. Woody, please. Fake Woody, please. By the way, you look more like Ryan there than Woody. Whereas I said Donahue or someone. With that hair. You look like Woody. You acted like Woody. Out of bounds is next.
Coming up, Warren Sapp has bad timing. Steve Bartman has bad hands. Which guy deserves a bad time more this Halloween? Claus. Will Terrell Owens trick or treat as a cheerleader? He's already got the pom-pom thing down. The Horn.
It's
It's around the horn where after 2 rounds, here's how they stand. Jim Brown with a nose ring has 30. That poor imitation of a Cubs fan has 27. Whatever it is has 24. And Bill Plaschke had the worst costume in the history of Halloween. Right now, it's howling out of bounds.
It's out of bounds where it's all inbound. First topic. Yup, it's Halloween, and those unlucky enough to be too old to trick-or-treat, you can be too old to trick-or-treat, can still enjoy the spirit of the day with a scary movie like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A little bit of it's right here. Very scary. First one was great. Heard good things about the sequel. Guys, what is the scariest movie of all time? Jay Marriott.
Well, being familiar with curses and hexes and exorcism as I am, I've got to say The Exorcist. I mean, Linda Blair, her head spinning, it creeps me out to this day. I mean, devil-possessed schoolgirl, very nice on the side, then creeps you out. I mean, to me, it lingers, Kellerman. So many of these movies, you laugh at them. You can't take them seriously. This one, it was almost an erosion of faith and family. The Exorcist, it sticks with me to this day.
No, not sequels.
Oh, no.
I recommend to everybody go back to the 1950s and see Jim Arness in the original The Thing.
Ooh.
I never slept again comfortably after watching The Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But the greatest and scariest movie of all time was not Psycho, which had the greatest moment, but The Invasion of the Body Snatchers takes second place to The Night of the Living Dead, guys.
Yes, very scary. That's a very scary movie.
That's not it. You got to go back to 1980, The Shining with Jack Nicholson. In these movies, it's not about the gore that gets you. It's the anticipation of violence and the unpredictability that gets you going. I know the little girls in the hallway scares people and the blood come out of the elevator scares people, but to me it was Here's Johnny.
Here's Johnny?
Here's Johnny scared me.
The Shining was an incredibly scary movie, but Here's Johnny? That was like a little levity. I'm taking points off for the Here's Johnny. Are you kidding me? How about Rosemary's Baby when the old people are tiptoeing behind her? That's scary.
Go back.
Next topic. Another popular option on this special day is egging houses in your neighborhood. And an ESPN.com Sports Nation poll asked whose house, among famous sports figures, would you most like to egg? Egging is illegal and obnoxious, and around the horn, ESPN and the show's producers urge you not to vandalize during this holiday season. But honestly, which sports figure's house most deserves a little yoke on the old front stoop? Michael Holley.
Oh, I got about 3 of them. I'm going after the knucklehead owners in the NFL. How about Art Modell? How about Bill Bidwill? How about Bud Adams? These people who have moved their team and claim to be broke. When you open your doors in the NFL without even selling a ticket, you make $70 million because of the great TV contract, but they're still crying the blues. I got
great points, but no points for you and a mute because I said, give me the one name, and you gave me 3. Marriott.
Those are cliche answers, Holly. It's Alex Gonzalez of the Cubs. You know why? Because he made my life hell. All I did was reach for this ball. This guy boots the ball that leads to the 8-run inning, and the Cubs blow it, and yet I'm being blamed for everything. I'm going to go personally egg Agon's house.
This is a serious question, guys, and you need to address it that way. I think you go to Glendale, Arizona, not a home, but an office where those guys are keeping Ted Williams on ice. And as a former alive person, I understand this. They've cut his head off. They have mistreated him. Ted Williams was maybe the greatest hitter of all time, and look what they've done to him.
The answer is, you're all wrong, so you all get muted. Of course, being the low man on the totem pole, the kindergarten version of Jim Brown is out of here. Michael Holley, you are gone. Jim Brown in braces? Come on. The answer is Jeff Weaver, of course. $6.5 million for the worst pitcher in the American League. Jeff Weaver and those who traded for him. The showdown is next.
Coming up, should I trick or treat as Beyonce or just as a disembodied voice who follows her around? The whole trick or treat.
Coming up on SportsCenter, the latest on Kobe and the Lakers. We'll look ahead to Survival Saturday and the NFL on Sunday and the top 10 frightening moments in sports. SportsCenter, 6 Eastern, ESPN.
Showdown time, but first, disembodied voice.
Yes.
Who?
Would have been scarier if it wasn't in the teleprompter, Max. Don Zimmer expected to join Lou Pinella's staff in Tampa. Mike Vick will now return November 30th, and it is my brother's birthday. So happy birthday, Sammy.
Is your brother disembodied also?
Did your brother take 3 days to paint on his beard?
All 3 of them do, yes. First topic. The Niners host the Rams on Sunday, showcasing 2 of the NFL's top receivers, Terrell Owens and Torrey Holt. Holt leads the NFL with 52 receptions and 8 receiving TDs. Owens has 46 catches, but only 3 TDs this season. Who would you rather have right now, Owens or Holt? 15 seconds each. Mariotti,
I'm going to go out on a limb and take T.O. I know he only has 3 touchdown catches this year, Kellerman, but come on, the Niners are desperate. They need to utilize Owens here. They're 3-5. They're falling out of it. Every game is a must-win. Dennis Erickson, wake up and use Terrell Owens, and I think he will this week.
Mariotti, you have no chance, no ghost of a chance of winning this argument. Holt is leading the league in receptions and touchdown catches. He's a good guy, not a troublemaker. He's playing on a great team with another great wide receiver.
Oh, that good guy stuff. You'd rather have T.O. than Toy. Why don't you just admit it, Woody? You'd rather have T.O. Next topic. Survival Saturday is upon us as Michigan State hosts Michigan and Florida takes on Georgia. The Gators have won 12 of their last 13 meetings against the Bulldogs, while the Wolverines manhandled the Spartans 49-3 last season in Ann Arbor. Which rivalry is bigger? Michigan State-Michigan or Florida-Georgia? 15 seconds each. Woody, go.
I think the most important thing to remember here is you've got 2 states that are intertwined, playing at a neutral site year after year after year. Yes, it's a big drunk, it's a big cocktail party, but they have more fun. There's more rivalry here than you could possibly imagine.
Woody, all they do is drink and look at women in Jacksonville, Florida, and that's been part of your problem through the years. See, Michigan State, I used to live there. I understand how it works. It's a social argument. The elite go to Ann Arbor. Everybody else goes to East Lansing. It becomes a big social deal.
Michigan's main rival is the Ohio State University, Jay.
Yeah,
Plus, all they do is drink and look at women.
Florida is Florida State. So what's
Last
your point?
topic. Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, is running the New York Marathon on Sunday. For the record, running marathons is insane and self-destructive. But if it gives Puff a sense of accomplishment, more power to him. Will Diddy finish the New York Marathon 30 seconds for the Halloween Spectacular title? Mariotti, go.
Let me first say I admire Diddy because he's doing this for charity, and it's pretty brave of him. He's abstaining from sex. You know, good for you, P. Diddy. Now, on the other hand, Kellerman, the other day, he admitted to having a sore right knee. He couldn't get through 20 miles. He's not
critical
gonna finish.
reasons here, Jay, you're missing. Number 1, he is trained for this for months. Number 2, as you pointed out, it's all about charity. And number 3, it's in New York City. He's not going to be embarrassed. He's going to do it. There's absolutely no doubt.
And what does abstaining from sex have to do with anything? Jay, sing it with me. The D, the I, the D, the D, the Y. What's next? No,
the Y.
No, right.
The
Well,
match.
Woody, you're the winner. 15 seconds are yours. Go ahead.
I want to be totally serious here today. I think that if you're going to go out tonight, have a sane and safe Halloween. You know, do everything in moderation. If you must drink, please do not drive. You don't want to end up like me. Look at me. I'm old. I'm stupid. I am a fool.
What are you doing for
Happy
Halloween, Woody?
Halloween.
Woody, what are you doing for Halloween? Woody, what are you doing for Halloween?
I'm dressing up as Mariotti.
That's going to do it, folks. We're on a 71.5-hour break. See you Monday around the horn. That's Mariotti. How do you do that?
Around the Horn is a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For up-to-the-minute sports information, log on to ESPN.com.
Straight now.
Pardon the interruption. Well, I'm Mike Wilbon. Tony, guess what I am for Halloween?
Tony Kornheiser, I don't know. Sports agent? David Falk, maybe?
That's cold. That is just cold. Suck your blood.
Falk wishes he looked that good. Welcome to PTI, boys and ghouls. Bada bing. I'm the king of toss-up, and Wilbon is dressed in some sort of vampire drag.
Blah.
We start with LeBron James, who Wilbon has done a 180 on. LeBron followed his first big game with a second big game, getting 21 points and 12 rebounds in Phoenix last night. Wilbon, you cautioned everyone about LeBron not to believe the hype, and you agreed with your boy Charles Barkley that all this TV exposure early in the season would be too much too soon. Would you like to moonwalk a little bit on that now?
First of all, I want you to address me as Blackula for the rest of the show, or Count Chocula. Okay. Now,
right.
I can moonwalk. I can. You want me to show you? I want to see proof. I wanted to see proof. I don't give extra credit for what you do in high school. He got out there. He played with men in the first 2 games, 2 playoff teams. He played very well. I haven't turned a 180. I've done a 90. But you know what, Tony? If he keeps playing like this, I'll do the 180.
Let me give you a quote from Larry Joe Bird. He ought to know what it takes in this league. He says he's the best player he's seen in a long time. And if we're not talking about this guy being in the Hall of Fame in 5 years, then something went wrong. I've never seen anything like this.
Wow.
Now, that's Larry Joe Bird.
Bird is not easily impressed. The last time I can recall Bird going out early in somebody's career saying, this guy's the real deal. You remember who that was?
No.
1986 Len Bias.
Okay.
Who you and I got to see all the time. And that was a young guy straight coming into camp.
He never even made it to the pros to play.
But LeBron, that doesn't alter Bird's assessment of where that guy was at the time. LeBron James, what impresses me most is his court awareness and his poise. He doesn't seem to panic. He had 7 turnovers last night against Phoenix, but only 2 in the opener against Sacramento.
Let me give you one cautionary note. His team is now 0-2.
Yep.
If after 30 games they are 8-22,
which they could be,
people will look and they will say, you know what? Been there, done that. His team doesn't win. Don't want to see it anymore.
I agree with that. And that's why you can't pronounce he's the greatest thing ever just yet.
Right.
LeBron James may have knocked Kobe Bryant out of the lead news spot, but not for long. Increasingly in NBA circles, there's speculation that Bryant won't get to explore his pending free agency, that he'll be traded before he's able to opt out. In today's New York Post, Peter Vesey writes that Lakers boss Jerry Buss must understand by now a trade has to be arranged as soon as possible. Multiple reports have Bulls chairman Jerry Reinsdorf doing his own Kobe investigation in case of a trade. Tony, if you're the Lakers, do you trade Kobe Bryant?
I don't think you trade Kobe Bryant, and I'm probably in the minority. I think you talk to him. I think what you say down the road is this. I understand the stress you've been under. This is assuming that he is cleared of charges and is available to play.
Yes.
I understand the stress you've been under. I understand what that has done to you. This isn't the Kobe Bryant we know. Stay with us. You've been here with us for a long time. Trust us. We will trust you. I don't think you trade your best all-court player in the league
but here's the issue.
for a bucket of beans.
I agree with you. He opted out. He said, I want to opt out before any of these legal problems started. He remember that. He declared
what he said was he wanted to explore the market, which you would do, which I would.
I agree that he should do it too.
But exploring the market isn't the same as signing with someone else. I know you have him leaving completely.
Well,
I'm not sure he will.
We both sat here and you agreed even more than I did with Charles Barkley, who said this isn't going to work anymore.
Right now, it's not going to work. But when Kobe's legal situation is cleared up, it's possible that he'll say, forgive me, I went nuts. I was under so much stress I didn't know what I would hold.
Okay.
Today, we'll always hold him. Got no one to hold him. No one to fold him. Today's 1 p.m. deadline to claim Manny Ramirez off waivers is come and gone. So Ramirez and his $104 million worth of contract still belong to the Boston Red Sox. Wilbon, do you think Manny feels slighted by being dangled on waivers like this? And do you think it will negatively affect his play with the Red Sox next season?
I don't think Manny's paying attention ever to anything. I just think Manny, he's just there. He gets up and hits. Manny's the guy who said he would like to, at some point, be with the New York Yankees. He grew up in the Bronx. Is that not right?
Yes.
So everybody knows when the Red Sox put him out there on waivers, there was only one club that would realistically claim him, the New York Yankees. So how could he be upset?
Manny and his agent may spin that to say that the Red Sox were actually trying to do him a favor. The more fascinating rumor is if Manny were to go, okay, and the Red Sox free to that contract, that they would somehow trade Nomar Garciaparra and some prospects for Alex Rodriguez and bring A-Rod to Fenway, where he would hit how many home runs a year?
85.
I mean,
he would. His swing is just tailored for that.
He would take it out.
But Tony, now wait a minute. You said don't get rid of Kobe, and I realized that Nomar is not Kobe, and A-Rod may be closer to Kobe. But you would get rid of A-Rod, you would get rid of Nomar if you're the Boston Red Sox? The heart and soul of your team?
I would want to keep him, but if you said it was even up for A-Rod, of course I would listen. The Kobe trade isn't even up.
Because there's no equal guy.
Absolutely no equal.
With Kobe, Shaq, LeBron, the Red Sox soap opera, and college football's Survival Saturday, we've paid scant attention to the NFL this week. Yet, it's a pretty big Sunday. We've got the Battle of New York in New Jersey. The Steelers, Packers, Niners, and Redskins all play games that will probably make or break their seasons. Tony, what NFL team is most in need of a W?
The easy answer for me, because we both live in Washington, D.C., and we understand the drama that is the Redskins this year, is to say the Redskins in Dallas. Because if they don't win that game, they may be looking at 3-8 at that point. But I think it's the Steelers. I think they're among the most disappointing teams in the league. They're 2-5 right now. People pick them. Somebody I sit on a television set with once in a while
for the Super Bowl.
And they're 2-5.
I would say the Pittsburgh Steelers are most in need of a victory. that team just sort of, I'm not going to say they imploded because I don't think you have the sort of issues the Redskins perhaps have, which are more sizzling. But the Pittsburgh Steelers have been the single biggest disappointment to me. Not the Atlanta team because Vic is out.
I think Green Bay needs a win in Minnesota or they're out of the division race.
Like
I don't think San Francisco can even be considered. I mean, I think they have slipped noticeably. But the Redskins need a win in Dallas. Then they go to 4-4, and suddenly everybody isn't saying
You're the one who was the ball coach's biggest cheerleader.
Yes, and I remain that to this day, but check with me Monday. Dan Barrero, in a column in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune today, urges all of us to consider Brett Favre's consecutive start streak. And this Sunday, it'll be 181 in a row. Wow. Right there with Cal Ripken's consecutive plate streak in baseball. Now, Wilbon, I know football is a much rougher game, but can you really equate 181 with 2,632?
Not the numbers themselves, no. And we know because we watched it up close how difficult Cal Ripken streak was. We know how majestic that thing is. But to go out there and take shots from the likes of Sapp and Strahan and Richard Dent and all these people for 13 years, what Brett Favre has done with injuries, I mean, he could have bailed out any number of times and he wouldn't.
He sort of kneeled down for Strahan.
Well, you know what I mean.
Here's the case that you make.
He's
got 181 in a row. The next closest guy, our pal Jaws, Ron Jaworski,
120, what is it?
116. So that's 4 seasons done. Now, the thing with
it's as amazing as Ripken's streak, I think. I don't equate the numbers. You can't.
You need a lot of luck. You need great genes, you know, because at any time.
And you need to be a tough guy, a resourceful guy, a resilient guy.
There is guys absolutely as tough as Ripken, absolutely as tough as Favre, that go out because they have broken legs.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
We saw that with Joe Theismann, who was a pretty tough guy.
We're taking a break. When we come back, we will pin Terry Bowden down on his picks for this weekend's big college football games. And later, Don Zimmer has been through so much already. Does he really need to get egged? Blah.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite. And in part by DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment.
Tonight, kick off the evening with college football. At 7:30, Cincinnati takes on South Florida. Or on ESPN, Kia NBA Shoot-Around. At 8, Kevin Garnett and the Timberwolves battle Jason Kidd and the Nets. At 10:30, the Sixers, led by Allen Iverson, square off with the Kings. Or on the Deuce, Friday Night Fights. It's all on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight.
It's a big weekend in college football, and so we bring in our good friend Terry Bowden of ABC Sports to tell us definitively who's going to win, Terry. Let's start with number 1 Oklahoma hosting Oklahoma State.
Well, you know, Oklahoma State's won this game 2 years in a row, and they've had Bob Stoops' number, but not this year. This is a big game. He wins big game. He's tired of being the second best coach of his own state. They got too much power.
But hasn't Oklahoma lost 2 in a row also to State at home, Terry? And is there any sort of hangover year to year where that comes in?
I don't think so. I think this is about making a big game, circling this one, looking at last year's mistakes, not letting Rashawn Woods beat them deep. The only way to beat Oklahoma is to burn their aggressive secondary deep. Don't think it has anything to do with whether they play at home or away. Oklahoma's going to win this game.
I agree with Terry. What do you think, Wilbon?
I think there's an upset in the making again. Oklahoma State's kids must feel pretty good about themselves. I'm going with State. I know I'm a fool, but I'm going with them for now.
All right, we move to number 2, Miami, the other undefeated team. They travel to Virginia Tech. Who do you like, Terry?
Miami's going to keep on winning. They haven't played well every game, but they win and they don't play well. Virginia Tech, the last 2 years, about mid-season, 2/3 of the way through, they collapsed. I don't think this Virginia Tech team is as good as they were or they think they are. Miami's got too many weapons, especially Kevin Winslow. He's back in the Heisman race.
I agree with Terry again. What do you got, Wilbon?
3 for 3 with Miami beating Virginia Tech. They do collapse this time of year the last 2 years.
You're gutless.
All right, Tony's guilty, Terry, as we both know of East Coast bias. I won't be. Number 4 Southern Cal is hosting Washington State. What do you make of that game?
Oh, I love this game. This is the best game in the country right here. 2 top 10 teams. Washington State's a real surprise, new coach, new team, but it's all about Matt Leinart. Matt Leinart is the best quarterback playing in the country right now. He won't get the Heisman. I think Jason White's looking for that. But Matt Leinart is playing better than Carson Palmer was at this time last year. He leads a balanced offense, tough defense. They go undefeated the rest of the season with 1 loss. They win the Pac-10. they're going to have a close shot at possibly making the championship game if one of the first two teams loses.
Now, if I knew which team Matt Leinart played for, I would agree with Terry.
Try Southern Cal,
Then I'm going to go for Southern Cal. What about you, Wilbon?
Southern Cal's going to win this game.
All right. See, Terry, you got to help me out. You got to
I'm sorry, I'm talking about West Coast bias or East Coast bias. You don't even watch those games.
He doesn't, much Terry. Too late. I'm asleep for those games.
The Pac-10's just like hockey for you.
Absolutely. We go to Georgia and Florida, played every year in Jacksonville, neutral territory, I suppose. Who do you like, Georgia or Florida?
Don't tell my old man, but I like Georgia. I like Florida. I don't like to. In our family, you're not supposed to say that. But I like the way they've been playing. They've upset two teams on the road, Arkansas and LSU. LSU beat Georgia. Georgia's not scoring much on offense. Their quarterback is throwing as many interceptions as he has touchdowns. I like Florida because the way they're scoring points.
Wilbon, you have made a living trying to fire Ron Zook already.
No, I have
yes,
not.
I'm
still going with Georgia. I know Florida's won at LSU and Arkansas. I'm still going with Georgia.
This will come as a shock to you. I am going with Terry. Absolutely on this one.
12 out of 13 times they've won this game at Florida.
Exactly right.
All right, let's go to my favorite conference, the Big Ten. I don't know if any of these teams are any good in that conference, Terry, but Michigan and Michigan State are playing. Is there going to be an upset in this game?
I think that conference is the best conference top to bottom. Yes, they all are good. Michigan State, John L. Smith, Coach of the Year in the Big Ten. Jeff Smoker, Comeback Player of the Year. But the best team has been, is, and will be Michigan. If they had not had terrible kicking games against Oregon and Iowa, they should be playing for the championship. They're still going to be playing for the Big Ten championship.
You're so loyal to Michigan because you had them in the championship. If they have 5 losses, you'll say that they're the best team,
well,
right?
They are the best. Well, they can't kick. They can't protect the punter. They should have protected the punter. They wouldn't lose. But they are protecting the punter now, and they're playing great football. They got receivers, running back. John Navarre's playing well, has won some big games. We'll see if he wins this one on the road. I think he will.
This is your conference. Who do you have?
Purdue wasn't going to beat Michigan, and Michigan State ain't going to beat Michigan. Terry's right again. All right.
I am sticking with Terry on this one.
That's all you ever do.
I'm sticking with Terry.
Terry,
with me.
There is no sizzle this year. There's no player that's just jumped out there and made himself make everybody else think, wow, this guy's the leader for the Heisman Trophy. Am I wrong about this?
Yeah, you're exactly right. There is nobody starting out with, they're ending up with. Everybody was talking Phillip Rivers or Eli Manning. I think it's going to come down to who plays well in the last 3 games of the season, who gets the ESPN highlight video out there, has the great games. But your money needs to be on Jason White because he's riding the best football team. If he rides his team to an undefeated season or the national championship, he wins hands down.
Thank you, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
I'm going down to Greenwich Village if you guys want to come with me.
Oh, Terry down, boys and girls. We're taking a break. When we come back, does George Steinbrenner deserve to get egged on Halloween?
Of course he does.
I knew you'd say that. That's so easy.
Blah. Blah. Blah.
Halloween is a time for costumes, candy, my personal favorite, eggs. And so it's time to play Eggable or Not Eggable. Who's the first candidate? It's George.
What?
I know you want to egg him, but you have to wait just a little bit. We have to see if he deserves to be egged.
What do you mean deserve? We know he deserves to be egged. He tried to make Derek Jeter miserable all season long. He tried to make Joe Torre miserable all season long. I mean, let's face it, Jeter's the best player in baseball. Torre's the best manager of the last 50 years. What can you say on behalf of your boy to keep me from throwing these eggs in his face?
You hate him, and I know you want to egg him. One of the reasons you hate him is because his team wins and a team you root for always loses. Here's the case I'll make for him.
Nothing to do with it.
He bought the Yankees for $8 million. They're now worth $1 billion. He's a great
fleeced the good people in New York. That's another reason to egg him.
He gave them good product, as a matter of fact. He resurrected the most famous franchise in the history of sports. Doesn't he get a break for that?
I like resurrection.
He did. He resurrected.
We can either drink his blood or we can egg him. Which one's it going to be?
What the hell? Egg him! Egg him! Egg him! That's the way it goes.
Egg stuff.
All right, who's next?
Who's next?
Who's next?
Who's the next eggable?
Oh, it's Warren Sapp.
Wait a minute. Sapp is one of our favorite guests. We love Sapp. Why would we egg Warren Sapp?
Because our emails run 100-0 in favor of egging Warren Sapp.
You don't even know how to get emails, so when did you start paying attention to emails?
Here's my problem. If I egg Sapp, it looks like I'm playing the slave master. I don't know that I can egg Sapp.
Okay, well today, I'm not even Wilbon. I am Dracula.
So you can do it. Now, my feeling about Sapp is that he has become like a pro wrestling villain. He would want us to egg him. He would think that that was part of the show, that would be good.
He's got to be the bad guy all the time, doesn't he?
Well,
He said the NFL thinks he's the bad guy. They want to portray him as the bad guy by finding him. They say he bumped the ref even though he didn't really bump the ref.
Here's a critical fact. Will he still like us if we egg him?
Okay, so we can maybe egg softly. Killing Sap softly. Can I?
All right, go.
That's it.
Oh, there we go. Who's next? Who's
the next
That was a
eggable
good
or
one.
not eggable?
Oh, it's Joe Pa.
He's
It's Joe Pa.
76
Is he
years
eggable
old.
or not
No,
eggable?
we cannot. I covered Joe Pa. And for my money, Joe Pa is the greatest college football coach of all time.
Okay, but here's what we got. Now, we love the guy because he's been here for 53 years or something like that.
Yeah.
He's won national championships.
He
He's
has.
still spry.
He graduates people.
He gives
the
money.
kids he have turn out to be responsible
Gives
citizens,
his money
great
back to
football
Penn State.
players.
But the Penn State...
Millions to Penn State.
But
What?
the Penn State students now who have no institutional memory, all they see is a guy with a losing record. They think he's too old.
Well, you know,
They
we need to teach them to have a memory. Go to your history books. Go to the columns that we have written 100 years ago, which will tell you who Joe Pa is. I
We're not
cannot
gonna
egg Joe Pa.
And
you?
I'll tell you what I can do.
What?
I can be wide left.
Okay.
But I'm not going to egg him.
I like
No,
that.
who's next?
Who's the next eggable?
Oh, Zim.
Can I start throwing
No,
now?
you can't do that. Let me tell you something. He's nonverbal. He's a gerbil. He's the top. Don Zimmer. Let me tell you what Don Zimmer has done.
His head looks like an egg.
He managed the Cubs and the Red Sox. He coached the Yankees. He played for the Dodgers. That's the big four.
Yeah,
That's
but
the
when
big
he was
four.
with the Cubs and Red Sox, did he do anything to lift the curse? Did he do anything to get those two teams out from under the
Affiliated
curse?
with the big four. He's there. He takes abuse from Steinbrenner all the time. He hasn't moved in years. But you know what he wants to do now?
What?
He wants to go to Tampa Bay.
Why? For more retirement?
I don't know.
You know what? Here's why this is
I
a
don't know.
gots-to-egg situation. Because he ran out there at 142 years old, and he tried to swing the
Pedro
left
could have
hook
killed him.
on Pedro.
Pedro could have killed him.
Pedro didn't hit him hard enough.
That's it.
So
That's
we have to egg. Got to go after Zim.
Who's next? Who's next?
Who is next?
Who's next? In egg.
Oh,
it's Fartman. It's Fartman.
Do we
Hasn't he
have to
suffered
discuss
enough?
this?
Hasn't he suffered enough?
No. Let me
Hasn't
tell
he
you, as a
suffered
Chicago
enough?
Dracula, as somebody from the Transylvania side of Chicago who was very unhappy with the Bartman. The Bartman, he entertained notions of going to Florida. He took all those offers from Governor Jeb Bush to go down on vacation in the warm sun while the rest of us in Chicago freeze our fannies off. I want to egg him
We
now.
haven't even found Bartman yet. We have better luck finding weapons of mass destruction than we do with finding Bartman. He's underground.
So
How are you gonna
here's
smoke
my
him
argument.
out?
Even with an image of Bartman, we've got an image right there. I would empty a carton of 3 dozen eggs onto Bartman.
So pained by Bartman. You hate
let's
Bartman. Oh,
start
here we go.
popping
Let's egg Bartman.
Bartman.
Oh, it is brutal. Here's what we think. We think Stat Boys had enough, and it's time for a break, but don't go anywhere, because we still got to talk about a change in the date of Michael Vick's return. Tango!
I don't like that fire up there either.
It's unbelievable. Nothing breaks on this set. Just a blah, blah.
Pardon the interruption. Presented by New Smirnoff Ice Triple Black. Triple filtered for a crisp, clean bite.
Happy time, people. Happy 35th birthday to Rob Van Winkle, or as you may know him, Vanilla Ice. For a time, he had the #1 rap record of all time with the #1 hit, Ice Ice Baby. It was #1 for 16 weeks. Now it's in the toilet, and so is Mr. Ice.
Eminem has proven that the hip-hop fans have no problem with a white rapper. It was just Vanilla Ice who was so objectionable.
Absolutely no talent. Now he's fighting in celebrity boxing. Happy anniversary, Albert Bell. On this day 8 years ago, you tried to run down some kids in your Jeep after they egged your condo. Albert Bell no longer playing Major League Baseball, though he received $12 million in salary this year from the Baltimore Orioles. A little advice to kids tonight, stay away from Mr. Bell's house.
Albert Bell has to be on the short list of most eggable athletes ever. Who's more eggable, Billy Martin or Albert Bell?
Billy Martin. May happy trails, Jeff Garcia. You're sitting out of Sunday's game against the Rams with an injured left ankle. Tim Rattay will be starting instead, And now we'll get to see how Terrell Owens responds, given that he thinks Rattay throws a better deep ball. I know you're a Jeff Garcia fan.
Yes, I am. If the people in San Francisco and Northern California think Rattay is better than Garcia, and that includes Mr. T.O.,
why does he think that?
They're mistaken.
I mean, wasn't Garcia a Pro Bowl quarterback for 2 or 3 years in a row?
A couple of times, at least. So don't listen to Terrell Owens.
Very, very,
T.O.
very crazy. Time to find out what we messed up. Here's Stat Boy.
Did you guys have fun?
Yeah,
I think it's down Manila from that, all right?
Oh, come on.
I could do some welding if you wanted to.
You look like Dustin Hoffman in Outbreak.
Oh, that's not good either.
No.
Manny Ramirez from Washington Heights, which is in Harlem, which is in Manhattan, not the Bronx. And unfortunately, Billy Martin, not Eggable, no longer with us.
No, he's no longer. No longer by a long shot.
Yeah.
But not for the Bronx. But he would fit more with the Yankees than with the Mets.
Yeah,
he's on the Yankees side of the city, isn't he?
A large population.
All right, we're running out of show.
New York guys, it's too much New York arguing. Let's go.
The Bulls are raising the Jerry Krause banner tonight. How do you feel about that?
Blah. I mean, I don't know what to feel.
Come on.
It's just a little unnecessary. He did some nice stuff, but let's not get carried away.
You hate him, don't you?
Michael Vick is now due to come back on November 30, 1 week sooner than we reported yesterday. Your thoughts?
I think maybe Dan Reeves has shamed him into coming back early. Though Reeves said he didn't mean
Vick
to do
is
it.
better than he was last week. Stop it.
Sammy Sosa is exercising his option to stay with the Cubs. Are you happy?
How can I not be happy? He's the best player they've had in the last 30 years.
Look at you. You don't look happy.
Brian Billick, blah. Got fined $15,000 for his comments against instant replay. Is that fair?
Paul Tagliabue called his comments intolerable. Was he supposed to let him off for $1.50?
Well, maybe $25,000 would be more appropriate.
You know what they need to say to him? Wipe that stupid grin off your face. Last one. You want to go egg Stat Boy some more?
That sounds like a good idea.
Start
flinging, baby.
We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
And I'm Mike Wilbon, Blackula. Have a great weekend. SportsCenter is next with a look at the tricks and treats in the NFL this season. Blah. Blah.
They're all dressed up with no place to go. Survival Saturday, hours away. The College Game Day Cruise in Norman, Oklahoma. Later, SportsCenter is now.